thank heavens he's going to be all right. Must have been awful for you.
The police had been around twice by the time I got home. It was such a shock.
If only we'd seen something, perhaps we could have helped in some way.
Oh, thanks, Annabelle, but they were marvellous, actually. I was practically hysterical in that police car. I felt such a fool when I found out it was only 4 broken ribs and minor abrasions.
Nevertheless.
At first, you see, they said they suspected an injured liver. Well, apparently that's not as bad as it sounds, but I was hairless to start with. That policeman's probably still got my nail marks in his hand.
How long will he have to stay in?
About a week, and then probably a fortnight's rest at home.
Oh, that's a relief. It can be very painful, you know.
I phoned earlier, and they said he was comfortable. I can't imagine Roger admitting to that, though.
You'll have to make certain he rests when he gets home. Don't let him overdo it.
No. Excuse me, Annabelle. Roger's mum and dad have arrived.
Hello, Mum. Oh, I couldn't get here any quicker. Is he all right? Have you been on to the hospital?
They say he's comfortable.
Oh. Hello, Mrs. Huntington. Well, I'll leave you to it. I hope Roger will be all right. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
Oh, thanks,
Bye.
Annabelle, I will. Bye-bye.
Hello, Mr. Huntington.
Hello, woman, how are you?
Right. No.
Come on, go in there and get yourself sat down.
When did you ring the hospital?
About 10 o'clock.
And you haven't phoned since then?
It's not everyone who's as handy at mithering folks as you are, Mother. Just calm yourself down. He's cracked a few ribs, that's all.
Cracked a few ribs, she says. He could have easily been killed.
Well, he's not been, has he? And if I know Roger will be sat in that bed, he'll be moaning like beggary about all the taxes he pays and why he's not being better looked after there.
You make a joke about anything. It was a terrible shock, love.
It was a terrible shock for Heather as well. Anyway, we're here now, love, so just you try and relax. You must have had a rotten night.
Yes, I'd like to go for a test drive. See if it comes up to scratch, eh? Later this afternoon. I have a business appointment. Oh, shortly. Fine, yeah. Goodbye.
Did I hear you say business appointment?
A bit of license, really. I've got to go for a talk at the bridge programme.
Oh, good.
Why don't you come along with me?
Oh, I may do, I don't know.
Oh, come on, let's go for a drive.
It's comfortable.
That's what they told Heather.
Well, what do you want him to say? He's uncomfortable.
That's probably more like the truth.
Well, we'll find out for ourselves tonight at visiting time. Come on, love, there's no point in you sitting there worrying yourself to death.
I can't help it. Everything's such a mess.
I wish you'd gone with him wherever he was going.
I do too, you know.
Oh, why didn't you?
Mum, I've been busy with my exams. I needed a night off.
You could have gone with Roger and then could have...
Stop it. Don't you think we have enough problems without bickering amongst ourselves?
I do feel guilty. It's just all this on top of the course I'm supposed to be on this week.
Look, love, these things happen. What you've got to do now is to stop dwelling on what could have happened and think about what's going to happen when he gets out. Because, you see, at the moment, he's got the pain. But when he comes out, it's you that'll have the pain. A great big one right in the neck.
Sydney.
Well, I know our Roger, and I'm right. And I think Heather knows him as well.
Remember when she said she was a vegetarian? Same thing then. And what was the cause? This friend of hers who just left Ladymount. She was upset about it and it manifested itself that way.
She's 13, still a child.
It's his distracting influence now that worries me. I meant what I said last night. She's got this opportunity and she can't miss it. Her whole future's at stake. And I agree with what you say. It's silly that a child of her intelligence can't see it. She's got the jitters, that daughter of ours. Case of funk, as we used to call it. Now she's stuck on this because she's nervous about her O-levels, that's all.
What can we do about it?
I don't know.
We can't keep her in, can we? Forbid her going out.
Damn well try.
Bound to make her worse.
We've got to break this C&D nonsense. I mean, she's leaning on it. Setting herself up with some sort of excuse for the future. This business about the Holocaust. My God.
You know what'll happen? She fails her O-levels, don't you?
It's been on my mind ever since we moved here.
She'll blame you forevermore for taking her away from Ladymount.
I won't be the only one to get it. We all will.
Would either of you mind if I got on with some studying?
Studying?
Yes, my finals are a matter of weeks away. I'm supposed to be on the crash course.
Doesn't seem the time for studying, love.
You crack on with it, Heather.
This is the right time for reading books when Roger's there in the hospital.
I don't see why not. I mean, there's nothing I can do at the moment.
She's right. Have you much studying to do, love?
Yes, I have.
Well, you might as well crack on with it while she's away.
Well, what about when he comes out?
I don't know.
Who are they looking after?
God, why did it have to happen now of all times? I don't know what I'm going to do.
Are these exams important?
Of course they're important.
Can't you see she's worried? The daft bugger, they picked the right time to go walking under a bus.
Well, I'll have to stay over, won't I? Our Roger will need looking after.
Look, don't worry. I'll manage. I'm sure I will.
No, it'll be no trouble.
Roger realises I've got to work.
Listen, love, don't you worry. She's staying, aren't you, Mother?
Honestly, we'll be able to manage.
It'll be no trouble. It'll work out best if I stay on, won't it, Sidney?
It's just the beds. I mean, you remember what happened the last time?
Oh, we'll be fine.
Well, if you don't mind the mattress, you can have ours. I'll sleep on the put-you-up this time.
Look, love, don't worry about the sleeping arrangements. You get on with your studying. And I'm surprised at you. You could be doing some housework instead of sitting there knitting.
And what about you, Sidney Huntington?
I've got plenty to do, my dear. There's those plans upstairs for that double bed. I've been itching to have a go at that ever since I've been here.
Then I'll leave you to it.
You're actually considering an offer now. I can't say I've had the experience of talking to an applicant in that position before they've joined the course.
Does that make me ineligible?
No, not at all. But perhaps a few of our people out there might wonder why you came this particular day. No, seriously, it doesn't matter one bit. Have you made a decision?
Yes, I'm turning them down.
I see. May I ask the reason?
Well, it may sound conceited, but it isn't good enough for me. It was a deputy's job, supposedly, but as far as I'm concerned, it's shop floor. I know I could do the top job. That's what's so frustrating. It was a recall, you see. I had an interview recently for the top job and failed.
Failed.
Well, what else can you call it? I didn't get the job. That's what I think you might be able to help. It's this business of interview. I've had precious few, but until yesterday, no luck at all, if you can call it luck. If I look back on those I have had, I think I can see it now. I just don't come over. Seem to irritate people, say the wrong thing. Well, look at me now. I'm practically sitting to attention. You know why? Just don't know how to sit properly. I went in expecting to be sat across the table, and he sat me down informally. I just couldn't cope with it.
Yes, it's often silly little things like that which cause a lack of confidence.
Well, silly little things seem to dominate my life these days. At least I've stopped following Annabelle. That's my wife. Following her around the house all day like a lost dog. You know, at one point I actually found myself interrogating her about the price of potatoes. I really did.
Nothing you need, Paul, I guarantee it.
It doesn't help me. You know, I often wonder if that's why I don't get on so well with my children, being so concerned about small things. If I got the right job, a proper executive position, I know I'd change. You see, my life's so unstructured now. Some days I'd lie in bed all day if it wasn't for the old, I suppose you'd call it army ethic. I give anything to Hairy Valley sometimes. The comfort of getting up to a premeditated activity, a goal at the end of the day. Somehow, it's hopeless. Some days I'm up and some, well... Do you know what I'm doing at the moment? Gardening. I loathe it, I ask you. At the old house, I'd have rather economized on food than sack the part-time gardener we used to have. I don't know what people see in it.
You'll be pleased to know we don't have gardening on the bridge program. We're open to suggestions on any subject.
No, thank you. Subconsciously, I may have come here today just to escape from doing something about my turf. Suppose I'm coming over as some sort of neurotic.
Not at all.
Well, I hope not. It's really this business of interview I'm most interested in. I feel I've got to master that before I can move forward at all.
But we can help you there. A lot of our people are much more confident about interviews now.
Do you really use closed-circuit TV?
Yes, that's right. High tech and all that. The participant can watch himself afterwards. It can be a real eye-opener, particularly when accompanied by the comments from the other participants.
I don't think I fancy that idea.
Like I said, it's not compulsory. Nothing is. We do a full range of lectures and briefings, but you can take them or leave them. Industrial relations, effective communication, writing CVs, even body language and relaxation. Most of the time, though, it's a concentrated effort with the situations vacant and a writing pad.
You provide secretarial help, I believe.
Yes, that's right. A couple of secretaries who can help. Then you can use the phones in the common room. The participants have started a fund to buy all the likely newspapers. One of the centre's values is that it gets you back into the routine. You know, shaved, dressed for work, the general discipline of daily attendance.
Looking for a job as a full-time job, eh?
I suppose it is in a way. Now, you've got your personal profile analysis.
Oh, yes.
Well, you can fill it in here and now. I'll find you a quiet room, or you can take it home.
Oh, I have to meet my wife. I think I'll take it with me.
Okay, well, all I ask is that you complete it in isolation without any danger of interruption.
I'm quite looking forward to the results.
You're early. I thought I'd have to wait hours.
Got my meeting tonight.
Oh.
Well, how did it go?
Oh, very interesting. I'll tell you about it later. I thought we agreed to meet here to talk about this little beauty.
Oh, just talk?
No, I must have forgotten to mention it. I've arranged a test drive.
Oh, wonderful.
Wonderful? No. Merely the first stage in buying a new car.
Sorry to bother you again, love, but have you our washing powder? We seem to be out.
Bottom of the cupboard, left of the sink.
Thanks, love.
Don't you think you've done enough, Mum? There's no need to, honestly.
No trouble. You get on with your work.
I'm sorry to disturb you, love, but the plan.
Plan.
Aye, no matter what our Roger says, it won't work.
It. I've had enough of this homemade bed business.
But just hang on a bit, look, I can redraw the plan and make it work.
Oh, that won't be necessary now. I said I'm going to buy a bed. I'm going to. Now.
All it needs is a bit of thought and time. And...
No, Dad, I've waited long enough. If I buy a bed today, you can sleep on it tonight.
You'll not get one today, love. It has to be delivered.
Then I'll buy one of those do-it-yourself ones. Self-assembly frames. Even I could do one of those. But I won't. Will you do it for me, Dad?
I'll have a go, love.
Well, come on. Let's go and buy one. Help you get it home.
You going out now?
Yes?
Well, what about our Roger? We've got him to visit.
And we'll buy the bed on the way to the hospital.
Aye, come on, let's get cracking.
Adventurous. Receptive. Cordial. Moderate. Moderate. Well, talkative. Well, yes, well, what's controlled.
Hello, darling.
Hello. Hello, Mum. Hello, Dad.
How are you?
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, apart from 4 broken ribs and a twisted knee and several other abrasions. And the food's awful.
Oh, we'll see, things are getting back to normal.
Police have just been here, you know. God, blimey, talk about half-hearted. blooming typical, isn't it? I mean, they're never here when you need them, like our burglaries. Wait, they just didn't understand. If I can't get that guy prosecuted, I haven't got a chance of claiming compensation from his insurance company.
Can't you forget you're a solicitor just for once? I want a husband who's fit and well, not an insurance check.
How do you feel? Is it painful?
No, only when I move about a bit.
You don't go getting yourself overexcited, do you hear?
Yes, Mum. Now then, what have you brought for me?
Some pyjamas, some fruit, and some Lucozade.
Half a blooming quap.
These are from Petra and Michelle. Lots of love and kisses.
Oh, isn't that nice of them? Did you phone Derek?
Yes.
What did he say?
To get well, soon.
We have me working on my deathbed part now.
You forget all about work. Me and your dad look to Heather, and you've nothing to be bothered about except getting well.
Right, Mum. Hey, come here, you. Give us a kiss. Watch my face.
Feeling better?
Mm-hmm. You better be careful, you know. I'm only supposed to have 2 visitors at a time.
Oh, rubbish, Roger. They won't mind.
Well, I don't want to get into their bad books. They can do terrible things to uncooperative patients.
Well, that was a pretty impressive performance for a newcomer. Robin Tate.
Thank you. Annabelle Collins.
I'm glad you could make it. I'll get the phone calls when I get home tonight. There'll be a few members of the committee frightened of losing their seats.
I wouldn't think so.
Do you believe it? I mean it, though. You were very good. Constructive.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I started the Brookside Association more for the social side of things. I still have that basic intent.
No need to be ashamed. I know exactly what you mean. Dot was bored stiff after 5 minutes in our house. I suppose it was partly my reason for starting up the whole thing.
Is she here tonight?
Yes, she was the one with the loud voice. She's gone to the pub with the others. Come and meet them. Have you time?
Oh, I'd love to.
It made a change to see someone come to the meeting, make a positive contribution. Can you manage to deliver leaflets?
Oh, I think I'd rather enjoy that.
Good. I was going to make do with a press release, but if we can actually circulate every house in the vicinity of the new factory, well, it all helps. We don't want the development, and a few leaflets, direct mail, might just bring in a few more members. What else can you do, Annabelle?
Oh, all the usual committee things.
Can you type?
30 words a minute.
That's 30 more than I can. Here's your first job. Tonight's minutes. Give me a call when you've done them. Either myself or Dorothy will give you a distribution list.
I never thought to fall in so quickly. I hope it all comes to something.
Well, shall we break the news to him? We've bought a bed.
Oh, God.
And I bought some decent pyjamas.
You should have stopped her.
You can't stop your mother once she's made a decision.
The bed, you.
It was my decision.
Yeah, and that plan's neither use nor ornament, Roger.
Well, what about the money?
Never mind the money. We need a bed.
It should have been discussed.
Your mum and dad have to sleep somewhere, darling.
And you can't be sleeping on the floor when you come out.
It's the end of the week.
And then what?
2 weeks convalescence?
Oh, my God.
What do you mean?
She means she'd be stuck with you helpless for a fortnight.
Oh, well, perhaps she should have looked after me last night.
Now, that's not fair. She's been out of her mind with worry.
Well, how do you think I feel? Made me think. 1 minute you're walking along, and the next you could be dead, like Gavin. Gone.
Oh, Roger, don't say things like that.
Come on, Mother, let's go for a cup of tea.
Well, you obviously had more success than I have.
I wouldn't say that. A question of being there at the right time more than anything. I was one of the first 20 householders on the whole of the new estate. Things were pretty bad then, I can tell you. Yeah, it's a battle keeping folks interested. I take it that's what's happened with your little association.
It was so infuriating. Well, it was all right while I was door knocking, but it was when I wanted them to come to the meetings.
Don't tell me. You were left with enough sandwiches to last a fortnight.
Yes.
Dot and I got one man along, and he only turned up because he'd had some sort of row at home.
Snap. Well, he hadn't had a row. He was tired.
Look, I hope you consider being a member of the district. I need people who know what they're doing, know what they want. as long as it's not my job.
Oh, I don't think you've any worries in that respect. I feel a little bit shallow tonight. You ran a very lively meeting. I was very impressed.
Thank you. Can we count on your further support, as the politicians say?
Oh, I think so.
Only think, not know.
All right. I offer you my support.
In that case, allow me to walk you to the pub.
When the police came to the door, I thought I'd lost you, and they said there'd been an accident. I felt so guilty. So awful. Thank God you're all right. All because of a stupid row.
It wasn't a row.
Well, do you forgive me?
What for?
For not being there. For being stubborn and leaving you to go and get run over. I should have been with you and your client.
It could have happened at any time. I was in a rush, I suppose.
You wouldn't have been anywhere near a bus, Roger, if I'd been with you.
I was in a rush, that's all. Mind you, I think that driver was really to blame. I mean, if he'd hit me square on at that speed, I'd have been a goner.
Don't talk about it. Why did you go that way, anyway?
What?
Well, you could have caught the 13 from town or taken a taxi.
Well, I had to see another client, so I thought I might as well call at her house. Seeing as Bill had to leave early, and I wasn't expecting you back for hours.
Roger, I'm so sorry.
Don't be silly.
Oh, I am.
Well, I've just got to live with it now.
The thoughts going through my head last night. In the police car. On the way to the hospital. I could have lost you.
Please, don't get upset.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I couldn't bear to lose you, Roger. Shall I go and get your mum and dad? I think they're badly shaken as well.
Don't wait a bit longer. I just want to be with you.